Hey everybody, welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast, a special Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name's Nick Bryant, and the reason I say it's a special one is because we're going to be doing a series of podcast shows over a period of time about IT in the workplace. And it's going to be brought to you by Host My Office and Simon Luck. And I'm here with Simon Luck today. How are you, Simon?
Very well, Nick. And you?
Very well, thank you. Very good to see you. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
So we're, in true Brilliant Businesses style, we're going to hear about your story and your journey as you got to where you are in the IT industry before we start talking about a topic which is hosted desktop. So take it away. Tell us how it all came about.
I guess so. From breaking computers at school was where it started. So broke the first sort of PC, fixed it, built my first machine when I was about 7 or 8. And IT was always supposed to be a hobby. It was never supposed to be a sort of a vocation or anything else like that. First couple of jobs after leaving school, ended up looking after the IT. So I thought, got to bow down to this is obviously what I'm supposed to be doing. And went through pre-sales tech, account management, business development and so on. And then the business sort of formed about 10 years ago. With the idea of trying to simplify IT in the workplace, taking all the bad things, the hurdles that I'd come across previously, and making it nice and simple. And also trying to make an unpredictable business predictable.
Yeah. So that's when Host My Office started, or was that later on? That's what Host My Office. Okay. And I think what we're going to talk about today is hosted desktop, which is a big part of what you offer with Host My Office.
Absolutely.
And how important it is in the workplace right now, and how people can benefit from it if they're not using it. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, no more. With the current climate as it is, we all know about COVID, and if somebody said about 8 months ago that we'd all be working from home because of global pandemic, you'd have thought it's something from Netflix or that sort of thing. But hosted desktop is essentially, it's been around for a long time. It's not new technology. It's been made available in the workplace because of costs coming down. And what we're delivering is disaster recovery, business continuity, scalability for clients wrapped up into a nice monthly fee.
Right.
So people are able to work from wherever they want to.
Yeah. And of course that is so applicable right now. That remote working for all sorts of employees and all sorts just sole traders as well, I guess. Is it for everyone?
Yep. So we have clients that are single users all the way up through to larger organisations. And
as far as the term hosted desktop goes, are there other people doing it? I mean, is it quite popular?
Yeah, there's other people providing hosted desktops. You've got Amazon, AWS, you've got Google Cloud, you've got Microsoft's Azure Cloud now as well. So there's lots of players in the marketplace. It just depends on what you're trying to achieve from the hosted desktop and who you want to work with.
And as far as the security with it, because maybe that's what makes people different to others. You can sort of guarantee that it's more secure with your operation. Or? So
we can take our clients to the data center and we can physically show them that they're on that particular server. This is their server in this rack. And from lots of industries can find comfort in that fact. If you go on to certain providers, they might not be able to say that your server is in this particular location. Some might say it's within an area, but it's also how do they back up? What's their resilience? How if they were to have a problem in a data center, what are the next steps?
I remember you mentioned before that they're in like an underground bunker somewhere, secure, locked away.
Yeah, so we started out in what used to be a nuclear bunker down in Sandwich, and it's probably actually the least secure one of our data centers now because of secure or reliability, just because of the amount of communication connections that came into it. But it's one of those things that, like, when you buy a red car, you see all the data centers. You've probably driven past loads, and you just wouldn't notice that they're there until you sort of see them. Yeah, you recognise them.
Right. Another big topic, I think, in the news specifically is cyberattacks and ransomware and that sort of thing. I mean, every day when I'm on Twitter, I see a different story about another big corporation that's been hacked. And whether these people are getting away with it or not, I don't know, because they never say. It's just a case of I'm not going to name any names, but there's another one that's been attacked. There's another one that's been attacked. So How do you deal with that? I mean, what do you do about that?
So it's not a question of if, it's more a question of when somebody's going to have an attack. The figures on ransomware attacks are billions and billions now, and every day they're happening, as you say. It's about how quickly you can get your data back and how quickly you can get back onto your systems, and your employees can work, your suppliers can contact you, and you can keep in contact with your clients. So our clients have suffered 7 instances over the last 5 years.
Right.
So not too many, but they're back up and running within 20 minutes. So where we're backing up our systems and replicating them, we go back to a previous version, fire that up, pop them back onto it, and then look to see where that ransomware attack was and eradicate it. So that's the disaster recovery or business continuity. If you had a server on site and that was scrambled by ransomware, you could easily be looking at a week, 2 weeks worth of downtime by the time you're back fully operational, depending on the solution you've got in place.
Yeah, and that's expensive, right? That's a lot of businesses out.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can lose confidence with your clients.
What's the difference between? I'm probably being a bit silly, but what's the difference between ransomware and the cyber attack? Is it the same thing, or?
So ransomware will typically scramble all the data.
Right.
It encrypts it. So the person who's encrypted the hard drive will say, "We will give you the key to unlock that. We'll decrypt it, and it will cost you X amount of Bitcoin."
Right.
Obviously, you can't track where the Bitcoin's going, and you may or may not get your data back. You are playing a bit of a gambling game. It's sort of like you buy the Bitcoin, send it across. They may send you the key. They may not. You may get 50% of your data back. You may not. And equally, we've had clients who have come to us after they've suffered a ransomware attack, and they don't want to pay the money because they don't know where that money's going. And obviously it's funding criminal activity. So morally, they're like, no, we just want to get up and running best we can and protect for the future.
Yeah, you don't want to be feeding terrorism. It's what it is, isn't it? I guess, that sort of thing. What about location? As far as business goes, location specific, does it matter?
Nope.
You can serve businesses all over the world.
Yeah, and we have clients all over the world.
Yeah.
We've got some in South Africa, we've got some in Australia, Europe, we've got quite a few.
Yeah.
Generally, obviously, we're UK based.
Yeah.
But we'll have clients where they'll have set up. Certain industries lend themselves to having lots of satellite offices, like estate agents or solicitors, accountancy, etc. And so they're also looking at obviously working from home, but there's those satellite offices. Where do you house your data centrally? It's usually in one of the buildings, and so they all rely on that connectivity. With the hosted desktop, it's in our data centers, and they just log in via an application.
Right.
And every Microsoft machine has it. It works on Macs, it works on Androids.
And you basically you just pick up where you left off. You switch your laptop on, you see your desktop that was on your desk, which could be thousands of miles away, and it looks exactly the same, and it just
carries on working. So it's almost like watching TV and pausing it and then going to another TV and starting it again. So if you're streaming something on one device and then you go to another device and stream it, it's a similar sort of thing to that. That you're just watching. We're transmitting basically an image. A picture, and you're transmitting sort of keystrokes and mouse movements.
Right.
So it's really light on data usage.
Yeah, right.
So connectivity can be quite.
And there's no lag or anything like that. It's just like you're there.
Yeah.
And I guess as well, this is a question I was going to ask earlier, but I think you've covered it because about whether it's industry specific. It doesn't matter. Does it on the industry? If you use which everyone does, then it doesn't matter, does it?
If you use a PC or a Mac and you want your data nice and safe and secure, it's a good way to go.
Yeah. It's really good. So I think that sort of sums things up about IT in the workplace and how important it is right now, and how important it is to be secure and safe, which is really what you're offering, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That sort of secure net that people know that it's all taken care of and looked after in the right place. Thank you, Simon. That was great. It was a really good insight into hosted desktop. Thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for watching. All Simon's details are below and on the Brilliant Businesses website. And if you need any help from him, just give him a call. And we'll be having another industry specific podcast from Simon next month about another topic. So thanks very much. Good to see you, Simon.
And you.
See you again soon, mate.
And you.
See you later.
Cheers, bye.